Staring at herself in the mirror on the restroom door. Voices in her head that mirror what she's heard before.
Hey beautiful people, and welcome to your pick a crystal to select your card and receive your message from the universe guidance for this Libra full moon. So pick a crystal from the selection that we have before you. First option we have is the green aventurine crystal. The second crystal that we have is the Moonstone crystal, and the third crystal that we have is the rose quartz crystal. So select a crystal that most resonates with your soul's calling, and you can receive your message from the universe for this Libra full moon. Now remember that these are going to be general readings, so they're not going to resonate with everyone. So if it doesn't resonate, do just let it dissipate, okay? But if it does resonate, definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know how you've been able to effectively utilize the information that I'm providing in this reading for you during the course of the Libra full moon. And definitely be sure to give this video a thumbs up if it does resonate with you. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you can be kept in the know of when we do upload these awesome videos for you. Now, all of that awesomeness out of the way, let's go ahead and get straight into it, guys. So the overall message from the universe for us as a collective is to lean on certainty and faith, because that's what's going to alter our perspective. That's what's going to shift the way that we're looking at things. It's really going to pretty much give us an opportunity to see things from a different lens. At the minute, some of us may be looking at the situation from a place of distortion. Some of us may be observing things from the layers of our shadows. So we may not necessarily see that what is occurring during the course of this Libra full moon is actually the universe working on our behalf. Some of us may actually feel as though it's kind of people poking at our ego, people poking at our shadows. So that is something to be mindfully aware of as we're navigating through the energies of this Libra full moon as a collective. So the message for us overall is that when we lean on certainty and faith, we can change our mind about the world that we see around us, because our perspective may be a little bit distorted at times based on how we want to feel about ourselves. So we will be challenged to expand on our perspective, expand on the way that we're choosing to observe things, expand on really opening ourselves up to the possibility that things aren't happening to harm us, but rather they're happening to aid us in our growth and evolution. What I would say is observe the things that are actually taking place for you during the course of this new moon, this Libra full moon, and see exactly maybe what intention you set, and really observe how the universe is actually assisting you with that intention. This may be an intention that you set back in the Libra season of 2020, and this may be the unfolding of that intention. This may even be an intention that you set a few years ago. This may be an intention you have probably even set mid course of the Libra new moon transit. So maybe at the start of this year you set an intention to basically see yourself in a different way, or have others engage with you in a different way, and the universe is challenging you to do exactly that and show up, in fact, as exactly that reflection of yourself that you really wanted to be able to engage with. So what the universe actually recommends for us as a stress-less recommendation is to breathe through the process and be grateful for what's actually occurring, and know that this is something that is a universal wish being fulfilled, okay? When you're going into breathing, the message for you is to close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing as you breathe normally. When you have a normal pace of breath, whisper, "Thank you," every time you breathe in or out. Do this for a while and concentrate If you feel good, you can also add the things you're grateful for right now. Breathe this way for 5 to 10 minutes. Gratefulness helps us attach ourselves to the present moment. When you feel that you are in this moment, stress reactions will begin to diminish. So that is our stress less recommendation throughout the course of this Libra full moon, and we may need to utilize this breathing exercises more often than we anticipated doing. So there are going to be some likely triggers for us to navigate through, but that is the blessing of receiving what we've asked for. Not in the way that we've asked for it, but in the way that it needs to unfold for us to be able to grow in the process. Okay, my loves? Now, all of that awesomeness out of the way, let's go ahead and chop it up and get into it for you guys. So, we're going to start with crystal number 1. Crystal number 1 is the green aventurine crystal. So, this crystal is great for heart chakra activation. This is great for practicing the art of unconditional love. So, this is, allowing for our hearts to be able to share itself with others, allowing for our love and the lightness and nature of our love to be experienced by others. So, if you've chosen this particular crystal, you may be navigating through some sort of heartbreak. You may be navigating through some sort of trust issues, feeling as though you may not be comfortable in expanding your heart or giving your love to others. You may be navigating through feelings of betrayal, and this stone has basically sort of called out to you, or this is resonating with your soul because your soul is asking for you to continue to expand on what it is that you're doing, continue to be who you are, continue to let the nature of who you are shine bright. It's not necessarily a time for you to basically dim yourself just because other people couldn't understand or value your love as you were able to give it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you should stop being who you are. The universe wants you to be able to continue to expand on that love, but be a little bit more selective, be a little bit more conscious of the kinds of people that you choose to give different parts of yourself to, and be aware, when people show you who they are, believe them, because what I'm hearing is that there were situations or red flags that you had been engaging with or trying your best not to acknowledge, simply because you wanted to continue to give love, you wanted to continue to let your love be unconditional, and the universe wants you to continue to practice the art of that. But it really is about you being selective of what parts of your love you choose to give to what types of people, because not everybody is worthy of expressing the same sort of love or experiencing the same sort of love from you, and that's something that you need to be mindful of. So you have to be very selective in the way that you're choosing to engage with others, because you may find yourself in situations where betrayal is continuing to be a theme in your life as you're experiencing things during the course of this Libra full moon. If you're not careful, this Libra full moon is going to help you to balance your ability to love unconditionally. It's going to help you to do so by making sure that you're placing your love in the right places, but also understanding the value of your love and understanding where to place that value and to whom and within whom you need to place that value, because not everybody is worthy, as I mentioned, of expressing and experiencing the same kind of love from you. Okay, my love, so let's go ahead and dive into the depths of what's unfolding for you during the course of this Libra full moon. So we'll put that over to the side. This card, the question that I asked with this card is, where are you? So what is your position for this Libra full moon? And we've got the High Priestess in reverse. So we've got internalized energy. The position that you're in is really needing to listen to your intuition, really needing to listen to what's actually taking place subconsciously for you. So you're hearing, again, I mentioned that there were red flags, and what we don't want to do is paint those red flags white, yellow, green, any other color than what they actually are, because that can be harmful, that can be dangerous to us in ways. And why I say that is because we can, become collateral damage to other people's growing process. When we see the red flags, what we need to do is take that as a warning sign. We have to make a conscious decision to decide how we want to navigate through, just situations with people. So the universe, as far as the position that you're in, the universe is saying that you need to listen to your intuition. You need to listen to what's going on within the subconscious realms of yourself as well. And you need to observe what's going on subconsciously with these people that you're engaging with, because as you're listening to your intuition, you're also actually engaging with what's taking place at a subconscious level for us as a collective. So the people that you're engaging with, the people that you're reflecting with, they're also engaging with you subconsciously. So it's not just something that you are, you know, just picking up on randomly. You're picking up and tuning into these channels of thoughts for a particular reason. What you want to do is tune into that so that you can gain more clarity on your reasoning for picking up on these messages. Your intuition's trying to communicate something to you. You know, it's important for you to be able to dive deeper into that during the course of this Libra full moon, because it's helping you to balance your relationships. It's helping you to balance your business partnerships, your friendships, and your romantic relationships as well. And this is the first full moon for the astrological year. So this full moon is very much going to be indicative of the types of patterns that you're going to be navigating through for the rest of this universal year. And if you can take heed of your lessons in the here and now for this Libra full moon, you'll be a little bit more consciously aware of, you know, what may be taking place for you as the new astrological year unfolds for you, seeing as we're now in Aries season, my loves. Okay, so with listening to your intuition, let's have a look and see what path you're crossing. So the path that you are crossing, beautiful, 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 my love. So the path that you're crossing is strength. You are really tapping into your patience. You are really learning how to tap into your inner strength. You're also learning how to tap into your darkness. You're learning how to utilize your darkness. You're learning how to tap into the unseen realms of your consciousness as well as that of others. And this is really your door to a new spirit, a new spiritual awakening, a new spiritual evolution that is going to be taking place. And the angel of strength is with you. The angel of strength is helping you to practice the art of patience. The angel of strength is helping you to really learn how to balance your relationships a little bit better. It's really helping you to balance yourself internally as you're navigating through the changes that are occurring in your romantic partnerships, your business relationships, and friendships as you're navigating through this Libra full moon. So the path that you're actually crossing is really learning more about your inner strengths, and it is going to actually awaken a new layer and level of your spirit. This is a spiritual awakening for you guys, and it's really allowing for you guys to really kind of see that your primitive instincts serve a purpose as well, your animalistic instincts. So the position that you're in is really needing to listen to your intuition, because these are our primitive nature. These are our animalistic instincts. That is basically the driving force of us being able to protect ourselves. Again, these red flags are showing up as a warning sign, and we're going to be able to communicate from a place of love if we choose to take heed of these red flags and warning signs. But we have to be willing to tame the inner beast by acknowledging and accepting the reality of what's naturally occurring. Our intuition is definitely going to be speaking to us very, very deeply, guys, and it's really time for us to listen to that, especially about the way that we're choosing to give our love unconditionally. The universe doesn't want us to be conditional in our love, but it does want us to be selective in who, where, and how we choose to give and express and experience our love for others as well as ourselves as we engage with others. Okay, so the path that you're crossing is really understanding your inner strengths that are also aligned with your intuitive senses, because it is going to bring you into a new layer of your spiritual awakening. Okay, my loves. Now let's have a look and see what is the overall oracle guidance for you to work your light. Okay, oracle guidance for you, my loves, is to share. Okay, share your voice. Come out of your cave of persecution and express yourself. Don't just see the red flags and internalize things, and don't say anything, because the chances are the universe is going to keep presenting these red flags to you to give you an opportunity to speak up and speak out so that you can come out of your cave. There will be mountains for you to climb, and the sooner you can actually start to vocalize and communicate and express yourself, the more effective you will be with climbing these mountains. And when I say mountains, I mean mountains of spiritual ascension, mountains of soul awakening is what I am referring to. So the universe wants you to share your voice. Don't hold it in, guys. If you see something, say something. How you choose to communicate it, be very selective in the way that you are choosing to communicate it. But it seems as though there's a lot going on emotionally. The tides are very much, the waves that are coming in from these tides are trying to show you something about the dynamics of your relationships and how you choose to engage with people. And it's important for you to take heed of that. It's important for you to vocalize about your experiences of others as well. And also, it's important for you to be willing to receive other people's experience of you as well. Because it's easy for us to basically, feel betrayed, but it's not so easy for us to look at the actions that we basically sort of engaged with. So what did you do basically to let that person think that it's okay to betray your trust? What did you do to let that person think that it's okay to not value your love? What is it that you could have done differently so that these people could understand a little bit more about why you choose to love the way that you do, and what it is that you would like to receive from them in return if you're going to be giving this layer or level of love? Or maybe you're the person that's going to be getting incoming communication about the way that you're choosing to love. Maybe it might be reckless love, or maybe it might be a toxic sort of love in the way that you're experiencing or expressing it. But the universe is sort of saying that it's time to really communicate and come out of your cave, and don't internalize your thoughts anymore. Don't internalize your feelings anymore, because there's a emotional turbulence that's taking place beneath the surface. And literally, as I said that, you heard the sirens. You want to be able to balance the heart hospital by making sure that you are expressing what's on your heart, instead of just internalizing it for the sake of maybe making other people feel comfortable, or maybe you don't like conflict, or maybe you're not the confrontational type of person. And all of these things are perfectly fine, but conflict is necessary for resolve sometimes. And also we may, in some cases, from time to time, find ourselves dealing with combative energies, and tension is natural. It's a natural part of the evolution process. It's a natural part of being able to balance the light with the darkness. And that's what we're getting for this Libra full moon. It's bringing balance to the darker parts of ourselves by shining a light on those, internalized thoughts and feelings. So do bear that in mind. Share your voice, my loves. Okay? Your message from the universe as you navigate through this Libra full moon. Beautiful, 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 guys. Your message is your happiness is a direct reflection of your level of faith in the universe. So if you are observing some of the, experiences of your past, and you're feeling like you've been done wrong, or you have been hard done by, the universe wants you to know that this is kind of what you're here for. This is what your soul is here for. This is the work that you're here to do. And when you are sort of looking at situations from a place of attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation from love, it's merely a call for help. It's merely a call where your soul is kind of, that's your body, your human, calling for help from your soul. That's your human calling for help from your higher aspects of yourself. That's your human calling for help to say, look, I'm having a real struggle at the minute dealing with some of these feelings of attack, betrayal, mistrust is now occurring because it's causing me pain, the betrayal that I've navigated through. And I'm now fearful that I'm going to be dealing with the same sort of situations moving forward, and I'm concerned about my judgment. I don't necessarily trust my judgment at this point because I feel like my judgment has steered me wrong previously. You know, this is what your human's calling out and saying to you during the course of this Libra full moon, which is why, again, you're being asked to listen to your intuition. That silent voice in the back of your subconscious mind is your soul speaking directly to you. It is your conscience really giving you an opportunity to get deeper connected to the essence of who you truly are. Your message from the universe is to just understand a little bit more about your body's call for help. Understand a little bit more about your body's call for experiencing love in a healthy way, because that's what your human is really trying to say. You know, the unconditional love that you've been expressing and experiencing so far, it served you well up until now, but there are certain aspects and attributes of that you may need to release, because this is a full moon, so this is a time to sacrifice. You know, there's certain relationships that may be sacrificed in the process of that, unfortunately, simply because you may no longer be resonating on a certain frequency, and some people, unfortunately, who still are resonating on that frequency may find themselves being drawn out of your space during the process of this Libra full moon. But it's not anything for you to start to feel any, how can I put it? This is the universe working on your behalf. Just keep faith. Keep the faith that the universe is really ensuring that it's going to align you with people that are reflecting the true essence of your nature, people that are going to appreciate your love, people that are going to be able to give back into your love, people that are going to be able to pour into your cup so that you don't have to constantly be pouring from an empty cup into others. You know, the universe wants you to know that your happiness is a direct reflection of your level of faith in the universe. So as you're navigating through the process, find your happy. Even as these natural sacrifices are being made, even as these truths are being communicated and discussed, find your happiness, because your happiness isn't necessarily something outside of yourself. It's something that is happening within the layers of yourself. And on some level, your soul is truly, truly excited and proud of the decisions that you're making as you're navigating through this Libra full moon. And the feelings of attack, pain, fear, and judgment are really just signs from your soul that it's going through its evolution process and it's embracing the work that it's here to do, and it is in fact happy and willing to do this work with you as its chosen human. Okay, my loves? So let's have a little look at the outcome should you take heed. So the outcome is that you will persevere. The outcome is that you will be able to ground yourself. You will be able to observe the way that you are investing your time, energy, and resources into people, places, and things. And the universe is really wanting you to know that the outcome of this situation is that you will be rewarded. You will reap what you have sown. The unconditional love that you have given to others, even those who did not necessarily appreciate it, will be returned to you. But the universe is going to align you with the appropriate people that can appreciate that layer, depth, and level of love, generosity, and kindness from a beautiful being like yourself. Okay, my loves? So that is what we have for crystal number 1, guys. Stay tuned for crystal number 2. Okay, so here we are, guys, with crystal number 2. Crystal number 2, again, we have the Indian Moonstone. So for this particular crystal, what I'm getting is that for this Libra full moon, you are actually already diving deeper into your intuition. You're already diving deeper into your emotional atmosphere to really understand your intuitive senses a little bit better. What I am seeing for you guys is that your third eye is going through a deep awakening. Your third eye is going through a deep activation, okay? And you are getting an opportunity to see a little bit clearer. You are getting an opportunity to see a little bit further into the near and distant future. And it's really giving you an opportunity, this Libra full moon, to make smart decisions in terms of your romantic partnerships, your business relationships, and your friendships alike. And friendships even include our dynamics with family relationships as well, because some of our family, you know, we have direct friendships with them. Even with our parents, we have, you know, certain levels of friendships with our parents as well. And some of these relationships are really going through a process of evolving and transcending from where you guys are at the present moment. But with this particular crystal, what I'm seeing is that you need to be mindful as you're navigating through this third eye and crown chakra activation, because you're going to be seeing things a lot clearer. The way that I'm seeing it is almost like this lightning moment that is taking place, that is expanding your third eye, right? And you're seeing things so much clearer. But at the same time, you're going to have to communicate your disappointments. You are also going to have to take accountability for how you've also disappointed others as well, because I'm seeing some layer and level of guilt and upset that is being processed. This may be energy that you are receiving, or it may be energy that you are giving. But you are basically navigating through that type of dynamic where guilt is definitely a factor. And as you're navigating through that guilt, forgiveness for self is going to be very, very important and crucial. So observing whatever it is that you did to engage in the dynamics of the situations that's basically unfolding up until now during this Libra full moon. So what part did you play in it? Forgive yourself for that. What part did they play in it? Forgive them for that. The forgiving process is an ongoing thing, so take your time with it. It's not something that happens overnight. And just remember that the mere decision to want to forgive someone is actually the process of forgiveness really sort of starting. That's when it commences. But forgiveness in itself is a journey. So you have to let yourself be open to embracing the journey. Okay, my loves? Right, let's have a little look and see for yourself, okay? Let's have a look and see where you are for this Libra full moon. So where you are, my loves, again, we've got introverted energy for you. Crystal number 2. So you are having a tower moment in reverse. So internally, you're breaking down your previous, how can I put it? Your tower. So the foundations that you had built before, that's breaking down internally. You're avoiding disaster externally. So you're avoiding external disasters, but you're processing a lot of emotional turmoil. And even so, as you're navigating through your emotional turmoil, you are making decisions to avoid conflict and combative forces because of everything that you're processing internally. So be mindful of the fact that you are making a conscious decision to avoid natural disasters externally because of everything that you're dealing with internally. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. You trying to not basically cause yourself any further pain, any further disruption to your healing. You know, one of the things we spoke about is forgiveness, and forgiveness is definitely crucial in order to be able to move forward. Because if we're holding on to the same resentment, if we're holding on to the same hurt, if we're holding on to the same feelings of the pain of the past trauma, you know, it's one of those things where we'll continue to manifest those exact same experiences. So you're avoiding disaster. You're avoiding that by choosing to forgive. You're avoiding that by choosing to create a different narrative of the story. It doesn't mean that you have to forget. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, I'm going to forgive, but that doesn't mean I'm going to forget. So your soul isn't willing to forget the things that has occurred, because that's been the natural part of your soul's growing and learning process. Your soul's actually learned so much from the situations where you have basically been betrayed in the past. And your soul wants you to know that it's ready and willing to avoid disasters moving forward by choosing to forgive. Not to forget, because the lesson was very, very crucial. And that's what you're sacrificing. So what I'm seeing for you is that you are sacrificing the pain of your past so that you can be open to the pleasures of your future and embracing the gratitude of your present in the experiences that you're having right now. So you are making a conscious choice to avoid any further disasters moving forward, and also any disasters that is likely to occur in your current dynamic. You're just avoiding it. You're choosing to avoid it because you don't feel like it's necessary for you right now to do so, to kind of like engage in it. So yeah, avoiding disasters at all costs is where you are for this Libra full moon, my loves. You also want to be careful that you aren't making decisions to avoid conflicts and confrontation because of your fear of change, your fear of moving forward, your fear of basically, you know, being seen in a different light or seeing somebody else in a different light. So if you're going to choose to forgive, it's important that you are making that decision because you are ready and willing to move forward, not just because you don't want things to change. Okay, my loves? Now let's go ahead and have a little look and see what path you're actually crossing during this Libra full moon. Okay, let's dive into it, guys. Right, guys, so the path that you're crossing is really letting go of some of the lies maybe that you've told yourself, some of the lies that you've told others, some of the lies that others have told you. Like I said, your third eye is going through this activation. It's going through this expansion. You're no longer having to really be so patient about this clarity that you're receiving. You know, what I am seeing for you is that maybe you've had to practice patience in the past, or you haven't necessarily found the right balance with practicing patience in the past, and you're really learning a little bit more about some of the situations that occurred in the past and why they occurred in the way that they did, and why it was necessary for you to be able to, you know, go through those experiences to get to where you are right now. It seems like you're not overreacting to the situations. You're receiving these amazing insights and downloads, but you're more so just, from what I can see, grateful for the opportunity to be able to let go of the deceit of the past, to let go of the lies that, like I said, you've either told yourself or you've been told by others, that it may have been something that has made you or used to make you feel comfortable, but it's something that you're actually at a place right now where you've just accepted, you know what, this doesn't feel comfortable to me anymore. This doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like who I am anymore. You know, this doesn't feel like it fits in with the person that I'm growing into. And I guess the path that you're on right now is really just being comfortable with knowing that the lies and deception of the past is behind you, or it may be on its way out the door during the course of this Libra full moon. Again, I have to come back to the patience thing, because they're showing me you're no longer being patient with the process of it as you're navigating through this this Libra full moon. Apologies there, my loves. You're literally sort of navigating through the process of this, feeling as though you'd been patient in the past and you're not willing to be patient anymore. You need to be free from these lies. You need to be free from this illusion. You need to be free from the deceptions of your past, and you are literally just feeling as though if you continue to engage in the dynamics in the way that you're doing right now, you may find yourself back into a place where you're rooted in the towers of those lies. You're rooted in the towers of those deceptions. You're rooted in the towers of those illusions, and you no longer want to do that anymore. You want something different. You want something new. You want something better for yourself as you're navigating through the process of the energies during this Libra full moon. So you're avoiding disasters at all costs. Some of you guys for fear of change, and for others of you guys, you're avoiding it to be able to let go of the deception because you feel like you've been patient enough and you've held on for long enough, and now you are ready and willing to push forward and move forward with your clarity in check. Okay, so that is the path that you are crossing, my loves. Let's see what your overall guidance is for you to work your light. So I read all of my cards in reverse, oracle cards, tarot cards, whatever. I shuffle the deck so that the cards can show me how the energy is, you know, needing to be communicated to you guys. So what I'm seeing is that I guess suggestion for you as you're navigating through this Libra full moon energy is to dance. Do something to shift your energy so that you can raise your vibration. There's a dance of life that is naturally occurring and taking place, and you may have moments where it's a little bit tricky for you to keep up with the momentum, or tricky for you to keep up with the rhythm. But the universe is asking for you to just kind of, your guides even as well, is asking for you to do something different to kind of shift your energy. Trust the path that you're on, and really just kind of sit with yourself and think on, you know, if you knew that you would be supported, what would you do? How would you navigate through situations? If you knew that the universe supports you no matter what, if you knew that your guides supported you no matter what, if you knew that God has your back no matter what, how would you handle certain situations? You know, how would you handle unearthing these lies? How would you handle, you know, letting go of pretty much just holding on to any negativity that you've been holding on to for a really long time? How would you handle situations if you knew that you would be supported regardless? It seems as though, like, as you're moving forward, you don't necessarily feel ready during the process of this Libra full moon, but nonetheless, trust your path. You may not feel ready, but there is a karmic unfolding taking place, and even greater, there is a light that is shining itself on some of the darkest parts of yourself. What I do want to say to you is that even though you don't feel ready, it doesn't mean that you're not. You may be overthinking the situation. You may be feeling like things needs to be a certain way before you can be ready. You may be looking at the situation from an idealistic sort of perspective. So I would say, even if you don't feel ready, you know, the universe is saying, like, sort of like shift that narrative. Whatever you have to do to shift that narrative, take a step forward, even if you don't feel ready. Take a leap, even if you don't feel ready. And you may be surprised at how your guides and your spiritual community actually supports you as you navigate through the process of this karmic unfolding for this Libra full moon, because you are shifting your energy and your vibration is rising. There's a natural dance of life that's occurring and taking place, and you're a part of the rhythm. You're a part of the actual currents, is what I'm hearing. You're a part of the natural elements of this dance, and you are important to how it flows. So trust your path, because you have been placed exactly where you are in the position that you're in for a reason. And even if you feel as though it's too difficult, it's too big, it's too grand, it's too challenging, the universe wants you to know, your guides wants you to know, in order for you to work your light, all you have to do is take a step forward, and the universe supports you in whatever it is that you do. Okay, my loves. So let's have a little look and see what is your overall message from the universe. Okay, so your card, I mentioned to you guys that I do read all the cards in reverse. I shuffle the deck accordingly so the cards can, fall as they may to be able to give an insight of the energy. So you are internalizing this energy. You are internalizing this energy of being the spirit that you are, having your human experience and getting closer to love. So you may not necessarily feel the love. You may not necessarily feel the love of the core of your essence as you're navigating through the energies of this Libra full moon, probably because you're having to navigate through some, lies. Like I said, either it's yourself that's told a lie or you're unearthing a lie. And it seems as though you feel maybe like you would rather the situation be a certain type of way. You would rather things be different. You would rather things feel a little bit better or are more comfortable for you, is what I'm seeing and hearing. And it's one of those things where I feel like, it's really, how can I put it? You are a spirit having a human experience, and you are here to get closer to love. But you have to be able to also identify what love means to you and what kind of love you want to be able to receive from others, and what kind of love you have to give in order to be able to receive that. Because at the minute, you're working through this forgiveness, but you may feel disconnected from love as you're navigating through the forgiveness. And the universe wants you to know that we're all human. We're all human. We all have flaws, we all have imperfections, and we all have unflattering aspects of ourselves that makes us human. And those are some of the things that we're here to purify within ourselves. Those are some of the things that our soul is here to purify within our human experience of itself. And you're growing closer to love by being able to have these experiences. You're growing closer to healthy love that is balanced and perfect, because it is imperfect. And you'll be able to gain more insight and perspective of how to love yourself better, how to love yourself deeper, how to love yourself greater, by choosing to forgive these people. Forgiveness, I'm hearing the forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's for the sadness, it's for the pain that you're still carrying, it's for the release of the tragedy and the trauma that you're carrying within yourself. Forgive them, my love. For parts of their human know not what they do. Jesus was nice enough to be able to forgive Judas, despite the fact that Judas sold him out basically for 30 pieces of silver. He knew that that was a necessary part of his process. It was a necessary part of his ascension process, and also it was a necessary part of Judas's process. Judas had to show his face so that he can learn that he isn't who he thought he was. He thought that he loved Jesus so much that he would do him no harm, and yet he sacrificed him. He sold him to the very same, I guess, system, the very same system of deception and lies and dysfunction, the very same egoic system. He sold him to that system, even though Jesus spent his very delicate and precious time with Judas, teaching him so much about life and his potential to be a good person and his potential to be an awakened soul in his human experience. Despite all of that, Judas still betrayed him. But Jesus chose to forgive him, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. Because he wanted to free himself from the darkness. He wanted to free himself from carrying the pain of feeling that betrayal, carrying the pain of feeling that feeling of mistrust, You know, being stabbed in the back by the ones we love. We experience that all the time because we're humans in this lifetime, in this experience, in this shape and form of our existence. We're humans. And that does mean that we will show up imperfectly in our experiences of each other. But the universe wants you to know that you are a spirit having this human experience. And as you draw closer to love, so does love draw closer to you as well. Okay, my loves? Right, so your, again, your actual result or outcome, should you listen to the message from the universe, is that you will be experiencing a lack of foresight. Okay, we have the Two of Wands in reverse here. So the Two of Wands in reverse is letting me know that there's definitely a fear of the unknown. You know, you're not sure what's going to happen if you do let this go. You're not sure how things are going to unfold. You're not sure how to be able to plan moving forward because things are kind of going through the process of unfolding at the minute, and you don't know where you're going to end up at the end of this. And there is a part of you that's scared, naturally so. It's natural for us to be scared to forgive. It's natural for us to be scared to, I guess, move forward with or without someone that we love dearly out of fear that we're likely to be hurt again. But again, like I mentioned to you, letting go or forgiving doesn't mean that you have to forget. Your soul wants you to take note of the lessons that you've learnt as far as these deception of your experiences or these illusions, these lies, whatever it is that is not all the way clear. It's okay for you to be scared. You know, it's okay for you to be scared to let go of wanting to know. It's okay for you to be scared of being willing to surrender to the universe and letting things unfold naturally, because you never know how the universe is going to bring things to you, or how your experiences are going to be able to show up for you, or even how you're going to be tested in the process. You never know. You just never know. And that's okay. The universe wants you to know that the result of this is that you won't necessarily have all the answers, and you may not necessarily feel like you can plan for the future as you are releasing these lies and choosing to forgive and not forget the lessons, but forget the pain, forget the trauma, forget the sadness that you've been carrying and enduring since it occurred. It's okay. It's a natural part of the process for you for the course of this Libra full moon. Okay, my loves? Let's move on to crystal number 3. Okay, my loves, final crystal number 3. So we have the rose quartz crystal again. We are dealing with heart chakra activation. This is a little bit different in terms of heart chakra activation. So the green aventurine crystal was about unconditional love externally. The rose quartz crystal is really more indicative of self-love. So when we think about the heart chakra, you know, usually we see it as a green color, and that's the external color or the external representation of the heart chakra. But on the internal representation of the heart chakra, the reverse of that chakra, we've got the pink color, and that's kind of indicative of our self-love, the love that we choose to give to ourselves. And the more love we have for ourselves, the more love we're actually able to give to others. The more love we show ourselves, the more love we're able to show to others. The more we can identify the things we love about ourselves that makes us lovable, the more we can understand our value and the worth that we bring to the table and the value of our love. So for those of you guys who have chosen the rose quartz crystal, this to me is pretty much just saying that you are either you are working on self-love, my love. You're working on getting a greater appreciation for yourself. A lot of your love for self had been wrapped up in your relationships with others, or pretty much just making sure that others felt a certain type of way about you, or for some of you guys, how I'm seeing is that you curbed your own self-love to make other people feel comfortable. And it's to the point where right now you're not even too sure how to love yourself. You're not even too sure if you love yourself. For some of you guys, it's the other extreme. You love yourself so much that you're not necessarily willing to, let other people in, or you're not willing to take in critical analysis. You're so busy. The mind has a way of being deflective, and it has a way of repelling certain information because it can be quite selective. And the way that they're expressing it to me, for some of you guys who are in an imbalance of the self-love scale, where you are basically self-serving and self-centered, you are at a place where you might need to balance your ego during the course of this Libra full moon, so that you can get a little bit more awareness of self, so that you can actually grow and evolve. Because critical analysis, some of us say constructive criticism, some people can be a little bit triggered by the word criticism, so I'm choosing to call it critical analysis. Is really crucial to our evolution process, and as a spirit, a soul having this human experience, our soul is here to grow into a deeper understanding of itself. It's here to transcend a lot of its darker reflections of itself, and some of those things may very well be selfishness, and you may be navigating through that during the course of this Libra full moon. Either you are navigating through it from experiencing it from others, or you may be the one projecting that kind of energy where you are solely focused on yourself and not necessarily aware enough of your environment and how you're showing up in your environment as a result, and you're not open to constructive analysis. Okay? The universe wants you to know that that may be a downfall for you if you're not careful. So you have to be willing and open to learning more about yourself. And learning more about yourself is another way that you can actually practice your self-love, because the more you know about yourself through your learning process, the more layers of yourself you actually find that you're able to love. Okay, my loves? So that is, I guess, the crystal analysis for those of you who've chosen crystal number 3. Let's go ahead and get into it. What is your position for this Libra full moon? Let's get into it, guys. Okay, my loves, so for you, we are dealing with Page of Swords and 8 of Cups energy. So you are dealing with a lot of mental restlessness. You are dealing with a lot of incoming thoughts and downloads. You're constantly thinking about the disappointments that you've had. You're constantly thinking about, the disappointments that you are navigating through. You're constantly thinking about the abandonment that you've had to endure from others. You are... Right, beautiful people. So we are dealing with mental restlessness about our disappointments, and we are, for some of us, we're kind of withdrawing emotionally, or we may have our feelings and concerns about being abandoned, and that's causing us to withdraw. It seems like for a lot of us, we are really just trying to think about how things could have been differently. Some of us may be sort of like stuck in that place, living in that hypothetical reality of how things could have been had things gone differently, or gone a different route, or gone a different direction. It's really it's mind-boggling to us. It's kind of like perplexing us mentally. So yeah, it seems as though we are really at a place of feeling quite disappointed. just about the way that things have transpired for us. And what we're not realizing, because bearing in mind you guys have chosen the rose quartz crystal, so this is just asking for you to love yourself in all the ways that you basically feel as though you weren't loved by those that pretty much abandoned you or withdrew themselves from experiencing you, or, you know, just giving that back to yourself. Whatever it is that you felt like you didn't get from those people outside of you, give that back to yourself. That's the position that you're in at the minute. Really learning how to give that back to yourself. Really learning how to put that back into yourself. And being unapologetic about it. You know, being ready and willing to dive deep into loving yourself in the ways that others perhaps haven't up until now. Okay, my loves? So that's the position that you are in. Learning more about your self-love by the way that others have abandoned you, and really observing whether or not you are going to abandon yourself in the very same ways that you've been abandoned. Okay? The path that you are crossing, is letting go of certain people within your community, or you may be letting go of certain communities altogether. It feels as though the community dynamics is just not working out for you right now. It's not a comfortable or a safe place, it feels like, for you at the minute, whilst this abandonment issue is kind of being triggered and brought to the surface. Yeah. It seems as though you are at a place where you're just not looking to engage in the community dynamics, or you're not being a part of the community. Maybe you've been abandoned, or feeling like you've been abandoned by certain relationships. I want to say certain family dynamics, certain friendships, feeling as though you've been abandoned by people that you consider to be very close to you, people that you consider to be very dear to you. You're no longer engaging in those relationships at the minute, and that's the path that you're crossing. That's why you feel like you've been abandoned. That's why you feel like, you know, maybe they withdrew from you, or you're having to withdraw from other people because you are scared that you're going to be having the exact same outcome of what you already experienced with those other people before, you know? Seems as though this path that you're crossing is very, very instrumental in the way that you're choosing to engage with your reality. You don't want to let this taint your view of people to the point where you're not letting love in, or you're not letting love express and experience itself through you. That's what you don't want to do. But I can see that during the course of this Libra full moon, you may be dealing with abandonment, and you're the ones that you thought loved you in the same way that you love them. They're showing themselves. They're showing where they are on their own journey. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. You can accept them for who they are, where they are on their journey of themselves, and still choose to love yourself in spite of how they decide to love you, in spite of how they decide to show up in your relationship, in spite of how they decide to, you know, navigate through your love, and the way that you choose to give them love, and the way that you choose to express your love, and the way that you choose to engage in showing your love to not just them, but showing them how to love others as an example of that. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. This is just another part of your learning process. It's teaching you how to put your energy and your love in the right places, much like those who chose the green aventurine. It's teaching you about making sure that you are aligning yourself with the right community. Maybe the people that you have engaged with thus far, not to say that they've been the wrong community for you, but maybe you've evolved. Maybe you have left that place of yourself that didn't love yourself enough to be able to do things differently behind. Okay, my loves? So just be mindful that the, I guess, path that you're crossing is letting go of certain communal tribes so that you can make way for new. Okay? Now let's have a little look and see what is the oracle guidance for you to work your light as you navigate through this Libra full moon. So the oracle guidance for you is Anna, the grandmother of Jesus. So this is the divine plan. Some people are not for the entirety of the journey. They are for different aspects or different parts of the journey, serving different purposes within that experience. So just know that even in these relationships that have been put to rest, you are at a place where you're still en route with the divine plans. You're still on track with the divine plans, and nothing's changed. You're going through the recoursing process because that's what's necessary for you at this point of the journey, at this junction of the journey that you're at. And it's important for you to navigate through this. It's important for you to be able to really lose these relationships or evolve from these relationships so that you can grow deeper into your love of self and practicing that self-love and practicing, you know, being able to be alone and be comfortable in isolation. Be comfortable in your moments of isolation that gives you opportunities for introspection. You know, this is a part of the divine plan. So for the people that will be moved out of your experience during the course of this Libra full moon, the people that have already left your experience, you learn a little bit more about why that was necessary during the course of this Libra full moon. You'll learn a little bit more about the divine plan that is taking place and why it's, you know, crucial to the next phase of your evolution process. Okay, my loves? So let's have a look and see what is your message from the universe. So your message from the universe is that the obstacles that you may be experiencing or have experienced in the past are detours to guiding you in the right direction. Okay? You may not necessarily be feeling the loving energy of the universe because those obstacles and detours may leave you feeling less than the love that you've given. It may leave you feeling as though the love that you gave was wasted on, you know, relationships that just weren't worthy. You may be left feeling as though you put your love into people, places, and things that wasn't able to return the value of what you put into it, the value of your worth. It's a detour in the right direction because it's teaching you more about your value. It's teaching you more about your worth. It's teaching you more about how to value yourself, how to value your worth, how to express that to yourself, how to make decisions that are reflecting that, how to keep the kind of community around you that can support you in that. And it's important. It's important for you to be able to learn about yourself through these obstacles. It's important for you to be able to learn about the fragments of yourself, the voids that may have basically, and voids being sort of like just a lack of information, you know, just a darkness within yourself. It could feel like a lack of love, you know, a lack of appreciation, a lack of gratitude. Those parts of yourself, you're learning more about those parts of yourself and why they exist and the patterns of those parts of yourself and how to disrupt those patterns within yourself and what you can do differently and how you can do it differently and why it's necessary for you to do those things differently. You know, this is very, very deep work that you're doing, my loves, in terms of your self-love and your self-healing and your personal development and growth. It's working wonders pretty much for your soul's ascension. But these obstacles, they will leave you feeling unloved, unfortunately, only so that you can learn how to give that love back to yourself that you're seeking from others. Okay, my loves. So let's close out the space finally with your outcome. Should you take heed of the universal message, the outcome for you guys is King and Page of Pentacles energy. What does that mean for you guys, my love, as far as your outcome? Well, it means that you are manifesting your financial abundance, my loves. It means that you are manifesting your financial opportunities. It means that you are pretty much learning how to be more emotionally secure, learning how to be more disciplined with yourself, learning, in fact, how to be a little bit more in control of the narratives of your story and where you place your energy and how to effectively place your energy and how you're manifesting. You know, this is actually going to bring you new financial opportunities. That is the result. It's going to bring you new financial opportunities, maybe during the course of this Libra full moon, or you may be laying down the groundwork of it during the course of this Libra full moon so that you can maintain your financial security and stability moving forward, so that you can really tap into this abundance that's actually here and present for you. The more love you give to yourself, the more financial blessings you're actually going to be able to receive, the more self-sustaining you're going to be, the more prosperous you're going to be in your ability to, you know, really progress beyond what you thought was possible for yourself. So the outcome for you guys is manifestation in abundance, in financial abundance, in spiritual abundance, in physical abundance. For some of you guys, you may be getting some downloads about, you know, how you can actually manifest new financial opportunities for yourself, you know? So this isn't necessarily a bad thing. They've pretty much abandoned you, or you've been left behind simply because you were going in a different direction anyways, and you're moving more into alignment with your soul tribe that is now reflecting your true vibration at present. Because with you engaging with the old dynamics, there's parts of you that was just doing that for comfort, and there's other parts of you that was doing that because it was familiar. And now you are being encouraged, maybe forced for some of you guys, and pushed by the universe to let some of those relationships go so that you can create space and room for the new relationships that's going to come from your financial opportunities that you're creating for yourself in the here and now. And you'll be able to see the abundance that you can cultivate in the future just from those sacrifices that you've had to make. Okay, my loves? That's pretty much everything from me, guys. I hope that that has been useful for you guys. I hope that you guys have appreciated it. And if it has resonated with you, then definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know how you've been able to effectively utilize the information to navigate through the process of this Libra full moon. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you do like my vibe. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, that way you can be kept in the know of when I do upload these awesome videos for you guys. Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys with a final message in terms of, you know, just working through your stresses throughout this Libra full moon. Take a journey to your favorite place. Okay, close your eyes and imagine yourself in your favorite place. It can be any place, anywhere you feel good and calm. When you get there, look around for a bit. Who are the people there? What do you see, smell, taste, hear, and feel? What kind of details emerge? Live the place with your whole body. Your body won't know that you really didn't go there, and it will react as though you did. When you feel the effects of the place, your whole body will relax. Okay, my loves? Thank you for stopping in and tuning in. Full joy this Libra full moon transit, and Until next time, my loves. Namaste. God bless. Take care.
They said to hold her back, they never seem to leave her head and tend to keep her mind at war.